So when you live the raw dog lifestyle, dating is on easy mode. Okay, I used to live my life like I was wearing multiple condoms. And dating was hard for me, and it was sad and frustrating. Ever since then, I've switched up my way of life into this new raw dog method, and now my dating life is effortless. And I don't say this to sound like a douche, okay? I say this because there's guys like my client Daniel who started doing this recently, and now tomorrow he's going on a date with his gym crush. And guys who aren't living the raw dog lifestyle are not doing well. They are coping. They're very distracted, and they're easily turned into victims. Okay, if you get this right, it increases your masculine presence. Women can sense that you are just alive, bursting with energy. And so this puts you in front of 95% of men. And I know it sounds like a joke, but I'm dead serious. So in this video, I'm going to show you the two components of this lifestyle. Now, first thing I want to do is tell you a story about how I sort of got into this whole way of life. And it starts back when I'm about 18 or 19. And I just got out of a 2-year relationship with a girl that I probably shouldn't have been with in the first place. One of those girls who's like pretty attractive in many areas, but not maybe with her mentality or her personality. Okay, so relationship ended and I was completely alone. Okay, I didn't have many prospects at the time. And what did I do? Downloaded the Tinder. I downloaded the Hinge. Oh, this sounds great. Oh, this sounds easy. Everyone's on Tinder. Everyone's on Hinge. I'll just download it. I'll create an amazing profile. And it'll just be easy. You know, I'll be getting dates left and right. This is what everyone's doing now, right? So that's exactly what I do. Okay, I load up the Tinder and it was awful. To be honest, it was pretty bad. I just absolutely hated it. Now the thing was, I was able to get some dates. Here and there, I was able to meet up with some women and, you know, we'd go on dates. We'll just leave it at that. But these women were not the type of women that I was interested in dating long term. Mind you, I had just been in a 2-year relationship with a girl who was physically attractive, but I knew I shouldn't have been with her. And so it felt like a repeat because I was dating these same girls over and over. And it wasn't that consistent either. It wasn't like my dating life was like bursting with awesomeness and these other type of women, right? It just wasn't good. I didn't like it. Okay, and what I experienced on these dating apps was women with inflated egos. Okay, and now I'm going to say something that to some people, it's going to sound like I'm being overly critical of women. It's going to sound like I'm being salty. But I do acknowledge this is the reality. Okay, because if you were living in the 1950s and you were being like critical of women generally and being like, oh, these women are this way, most people would take that as a sign that you just don't know how to talk to women or you're not an attractive man. But what I'm saying is completely different, okay? These women on these dating apps do have inflated egos. This is a fact. Why? Okay, why? I mean, think about social media. Think about how that makes a girl feel when she gets 1,000 likes on her Instagram profile. Our brains are not evolved to know that these people aren't really in our community. Okay, our brains aren't evolved for that level of validation. Okay, and this is what these women are getting. They get it a lot through Tinder. Okay, why else? I'm not even gonna blame women fully on this one. Men, we are in the age of the simp. Look around you. We have people marrying OnlyFans models. We have, oh, just don't even get me started. I won't go, I'm gonna get mad. Okay, so this is what you're dealing with on these dating apps. And this was frustrating to me. I knew this wasn't natural. And so what I did was, and what happened is, I wanted to practice social skills. I wanted to see, hey, maybe I can meet some women in person. And so I would go out, maybe I'd go to the gym, maybe I'd go to the park, I'd throw the frisbee around with my friend. And see, what happened was I would see a very attractive girl, okay, at the park maybe. And in the back of my mind, I thought to myself, well, you know what? I have a Tinder. Well, I have a Hinge. I don't really have to go say hi to this girl. I'll just, go home. Swipe on Tinder, swipe on Hinge. Avoid the rejection. Okay, so this is what was happening. What happened was I had a door open to essentially be a bitch. I had left open this easy pathway for myself to do the easy thing. And that was my default. Okay, so what happened then? Well, I restricted myself to dating apps. A few months passed. I realized this was the pattern that was happening. I deleted the apps. And that's when I started living the raw dog lifestyle. Okay, and there's an expression here, burning the boats. So, burning the boats, this has been something that's been done through a lot of military history, but I'll give you a story. So, and I think it was like 1519, there was a Spanish conquistador. His name was Hernan Cortez. Okay? And he sailed to Mexico, what's now modern day Mexico, with 600 soldiers and 11 ships and like 30 horses or something. Okay, and what he wanted to do was conquer the Aztec Empire. He wanted glory, he wanted gold, and all the rest. Problem was, there were 600 of these guys. The Aztecs had like hundreds of thousands. Okay, the men were far away from home. They'd been on a long campaign. And once they landed there, all of his men wanted to go home, or a large percentage of his men wanted to go home. He did not. Hernan Cortez wanted to conquer. But his men were planning on mutinying, which means they were going to kill him or kidnap him and just do their own thing. So what he did was he drilled holes into his ships, left himself with one ship just to return with gold, and he sank them into the ocean. And so they were stuck. They were stranded in Mexico, and what they had to do was sail away in the Aztec ships, or they would never go home. I don't even know if the Aztecs had ships. 2 years later, him and his army, they had conquered the Aztecs, which was a nation of, I believe, millions of people, maybe like 5 million people. They had 200,000 troops. Okay, they didn't do it alone with 600 people. They recruited neighboring tribes. Moral of the story, he left him and his men no other option than to win. Okay? Now, with these dating apps, a lot of men, they're giving themselves an out. They're like, oh, I'll just do this. I'll just swipe, while I'm laying in bed, right? And it's so much easier when you have that escape. What I did and what I advise my clients to do is just delete the apps. Just delete them off of your phone. Okay? Until you can get to a point where you can walk up to a girl and say hi and hold a 5-minute conversation and ask a girl out, what you're doing is you're really hurting your self-improvement. You are really hurting your dating life, just in general. Okay, if you're a guy that can already do this, you can already stay disciplined with working on your social skills, then that's fine. You can use the dating apps. But that's probably a very small percentage of you, let's be real. And what does this have to do with being on easy mode, you might be wondering? Well, once you focus on this, just imagine where this puts you in relation to other men. Imagine how the average man is living his life, and it could be how you're living your life right now, to be honest. I mean, we all have to start somewhere. I know I started out in a place of being an idiot, okay? And so think about how the average man's living his life. Think about how much time he's spending scrolling, video games, avoiding going out, avoiding talking to women, and not socializing. Most people rather go to the self-checkout and check out 100 items by themselves than just to talk to a cashier. So this is how most people operate today. And it's sad, okay? It's sad that people cannot look you in the eye and hold a conversation with you. I believe in that. Yet at the same time, it makes the competition dwindle down so much more. Okay, so like, practice your social skills. This is a real thing. You can really become much better at expressing yourself. You can really diminish anxiety, gone, poof, and become a very funny guy and very good at talking to women if you actually focus on this. Just imagine that. Imagine yourself in a year from now, 2 years from now, where you would be if you decided to live the raw dog lifestyle. Okay? Now, if you'd like my personal help with doing this, I put a video in the description that you can watch. It'll show you more about how you can start getting 1 or 2 dates every single week. Now, the second part of the raw dog lifestyle is I want to tell you another story. Okay? Because growing up, I had some family problems. I'm going to be real with you. There were some things going on. I had self-esteem issues growing up. So what I did was I tried to escape. Okay, so I watched so much YouTube videos growing up on the most ridiculous things. I played Minecraft for maybe 10 hours a day on the weekend. I loved Minecraft. It was amazing. All right, I get into high school. I start probably doing things I shouldn't have done, smoking weed, okay, etc. I start drinking alcohol to medicate myself, really. And what I was doing was I was covering up these self-esteem issues. I was covering up these things, these emotional things that I never dealt with. Okay, but they were still there. Because what happened was I finally reached the breaking point where, you know, I'm like 19 years old maybe. I'm living in my girlfriend's dad's apartment. I'm high constantly all day long. I'm delivering DoorDash. All right, I have no friends. I have no prospect for increasing my life career-wise. And finally, I just wake up one day. I snap out of my haze. I'm like, what am I doing to myself? So I quit everything. I quit doing everything. And it was hard. It was extremely hard because you know what happens when you actually wake up and you snap out of it? You actually have to face the things that you've been running from your entire life. And so that's exactly what happened. What most guys are living in is not reality. It's not reality. Okay, I go to the gym and look around you. Who's actually a conscious, sentient human being? Okay? Every single person is wearing headphones, looking at their phone, and I sound like a grandma right now, but you're going to see how important this actually is in a second. In between sets, any chance they can get. Nobody's making eye contact. Nobody's starting a conversation with each other. They're bots, for lack of a better term. They're non-playable characters. Okay? And so what people are doing right now in 2025 is they're escaping reality at every possible chance. With the music, with the video games, with the alcohol, with the powerful weed. They are just trying to zone out. Okay, the other day, I was driving. And what I do now is I barely even listen to music. I barely even listen to music when I'm driving. And it was a beautiful morning. I'm driving in my car. It's fall. I live in North Carolina. I'm in Florida right now. But this was the other day. And all the leaves were changing colors. They're red, orange, yellow. And I have no music on. And it's just the morning sun hitting me. And I'm just driving down the road, looking at this beautiful nature. And what happens is, when you don't have the music gone or the podcast or whatever, you start to have all of these mental unlocks in your brain. Okay, I was getting hit with just like genius ideas. Oh, this is what I need to fix in my coaching business. Oh, I just got this mental unlock about this aspect of female nature, about this social skill. You just get hit with genius. When you're not stimulated for 1 minute, just try this, I promise you. It's gonna be hard at first. You're gonna just wanna turn it off. Okay, and it's gonna be hard. When you actually start facing this stuff head on and you face your fears like a man, you're gonna wanna run away and hide from it. Okay, you're gonna wanna stand in the corner of the bar and drink instead of actually go up and talk to the girl. That's what's gonna happen. But I promise you, you get through that first week, you get through that first month, and your brain actually gets a chance to process some of these things that might have happened in your past. Okay, some of these things that you need to improve about your character, about things, thinking about women, social skills, your career, everything. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Just please try it. I don't get anything out of you trying this. I'm just telling you this right now. And what's going to happen is you're just going to level up massively as a person. Okay, you're now going to have dopamine to socialize with people. You know, you get dopamine from socializing with people. Okay, when you get off the slop, the food, you're going to have testosterone. You're going to feel that vitality when you go out. You're going to love socializing with people. Where do you think that puts you in relation to other men? Just talk to it's so sad. I go to the gym, you talk to like these 16-year-old kids now. Once again, I sound like the old man, but this is so real. You talk to these 16-year-old kids now, and emotionless. People are emotionless now. Okay, you talk to someone, you look at them in their face, zero emotional expression. All right, they're not saying anything. You're like, I don't know who you are. And this is how people are now. And so where does that put you in relation to other men? If you can just get off of it. Like if you realize like this is the matrix. It's like the batteries in the matrix. All right, they're harvesting your energy on every step of the way. So just cut the cord, the umbilical cord. Cut off the drug dealer, the dope dealer. Block him, metaphorically. And watch how your entire life changes. So I just wanted to put out this video today, guys. If you would like me to personally help you and walk you through this system to where you can now have massive social confidence, okay, and just having a great dating life, click the link below this video and it'll take you to my training and you can apply to work with me. That's all for today, guys, and I'll see you soon.